You know, the times are changing, and they're changing fast, and we need to be able to navigate our children for what's ahead for them. It's a hostility in our culture like none of us have ever experienced. I want my children prepared to navigate through what we are leaving them. And I want them to know how to stand firm for what they believe in with confidence, but with gentleness. We need a solution. We need a solution for the leadership void that we have in our state. Patriot Academy is a solution, and it's a solution that's coming to Delaware. I couldn't be more excited about what we're getting ready to do in the state of Delaware. So I'm encouraging you to look at the young people around you, and let's start talking about Patriot Academy. Go to our website, delawarefamilies.org, and make sure that you click on Patriot Academy and you check it out and you see what we're getting ready to do in Delaware.
I think what a problem we have in the status quo is that there's this older generation of conservative and principled people who are afraid to pass on the torch of freedom to the younger generation because, frankly, they see them as irresponsible.
On one hand, I see people that have an entitlement mentality, but on the other hand, I see people that have never been raised up to truly understand freedom and responsibility.
I think a lot of the older generation, my generation, look at the young generation and say they're lazy, they're rebellious, they're without purpose. And
I don't think it's any wonder at all why young people are confused about who they are and where they're supposed to go. They operate on shifting sand.
One of the greatest fears that Generation Y, this generation faces today, is the fear of insignificance. They don't want to be insignificant. They want to matter. They want to make a difference. But when that's their great fear, when they look in an arena and believe that they can't be significant there, they can't make a difference, and then what sets in? What does it birth? Apathy.
I remember when I was 16 years old, our baseball coach in my high school took us down to Austin. We were playing in the state tournament, and he took us over to the state capitol. And I looked at that building and I said, that's a different world. That's different people. That world of government, it impacts me, but I can never impact it. It's too big. That's how this generation feels.
They seem to be apathetic to some people because what they see in the big world doesn't seem to make a whole lot of difference. They want to be passionate about things that can make a difference.
My generation has more energy and enthusiasm than we know what to do with. And that's the problem. We don't know what to do with it.
They're passionate in areas where they really, really believe they can make a difference.
They're looking for someone to come alongside them and say, you can do this.
I think that the younger generation is ready to step up.
But what we really need, what this rising generation truly, truly needs, is for the past generation to hand that torch over, to really instill those principles in us.
All they're asking for is for us to give them the tools to do that, and they'll step up and lead.
Patriot Academy is a leadership laboratory where we bring young men and women between the ages of 16 and 25 together at a state capitol in that environment and show them how the legislature works.
It's basically a real-life opportunity to do what a legislator and a political activist does for a week.
I first came to Patriot Academy as a 16-year-old who had no idea what I was going to do with my life.
I came in and I was actually kind of scared of government.
5 years later, I am an honors government major at the University of Texas. I just had an internship in the Texas State Capitol with Representative Capriglione, and all of it is because Patriot Academy showed me what God wants me to do with my life.
It was Patriot Academy that was the catalyst for turning me to someone who no longer just cared, but was ready to do something.
People often look at where they are right now and say, oh, that's a great person, and they forget the journey that that person had to get there. And it's the journey that Patriot Academy focuses on.
It's a launching point. It's the starting point for anybody who wants to be a culture changer.
We first started this program with a dream of training thousands and thousands of young people. And I remember those first couple of years looking around the House chamber, and we got, a couple of dozen people there.
It started small, seemingly insignificant.
So now here we are a decade later, and I'm looking at what were these teenagers, these young people that came through Patriot Academy, and I'm seeing them all over the nation, serving in Capitol Hill and in Washington, D.C. They're in state legislatures across the country.
I attended Patriot Academy for several years, and the training that I got there equipped me to become a legislative director within the Texas House of Representatives.
I came into Patriot Academy expecting it to be very similar to the other programs I'd been involved in, and it just wasn't.
Patriot Academy isn't just something for the political go-getters. It can be something for people of all types and of all interests.
I would say the Patriot Academy has changed my life, that it has radically equipped me to go out and make a difference.
Every one of my kids has been so enthusiastic and so energized and so thrilled about the time that they spent there.
And when they came back, they were sharper, they were more driven, they were more purposeful, and they understood what they needed to do to help affect society.
One of the things I appreciate about Patriot Academy is their desire to develop in students not only strong leadership skills, but also character.
I never imagined that I would have a parent turn to me at our graduation dinner and say, Patriot Academy saved my child's life.
And it's very easy to start feeling like you're the only one out there. You're the only one that feels the way you do. You're the only one that has conservative values. And when I went to Patriot Academy, it was this sort of rush of a feeling of, wow, I'm not the only one.
I've found friends and I've found people who are committed to this country, who are committed to passing on that torch of freedom from this generation to the next.
The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world.
With everything that's been happening in today's world, we as Americans feel like our freedom is going away from us, like there is no hope for the future, but there is.
Ronald Reagan once said that freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. And Patriot Academy is all about teaching young people what their freedoms are, where their freedoms came from, and how they can fight to preserve their freedoms, not just for themselves, but for the next generation of Americans.
The choice is ours. What will history say of the hour in which we were called to lead, in which you were called to lead? Will they say of our generation that on our watch the torch of freedom was only dimly lit, or God forbid that it was extinguished? Will they say that we fumbled in passing the torch to the next generation?
Our generation are the ones that are going to change the world, that are going to fight for freedom, that are going to work together to give something to those coming after us.
Or will they say that on your watch there was a rekindling of that sacred fire of liberty? Because your generation stood up and you reached out and you grabbed that torch of freedom, and together we held it even higher. We made it burn even brighter than ever before.
That's the battle cry today. There's a call to arms, a call to action, a call for this younger generation to do something great with their life.
We are a part of something bigger than ourselves, and that's what Patriot Academy showed me.
And that fire burns bright and allows you to communicate to others and light a fire in them as well.
I've seen in the last several years, from the south of Texas to the north of Illinois, from New York City to California, a younger generation that has passion.
We can uphold our freedom, that we can continue to be that beacon, that torch for the rest of the world.
The light of freedom is true and hot and bright, and no forces can stop its spread.
You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
We are so excited to be teaming up with Nicole Tice and the Delaware Family Policy Council to bring Patriot Academy to the Northeast. But we need your help. We need you to identify those young leaders in your community, 16 to 25 years old, the ones that really want to make a difference in the culture, the ones that really want to be trained to be effective leaders, to be like the sons of Issachar, that understand the times and know what to do. We've got nomination packets for you to learn more today so that you can nominate those young students, so that you can contribute and sponsor those students. Join us in preserving liberty for the next generation.